Hello, everybody. Hi, how's it going? Hopefully, everybody's doing well this evening. Sorry for the late start. I was having a horrible night's sleep last night, and it's just like I felt like I was trying to get caught up with sleep. So it's like I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna start a little bit late today. I think actually that was kind of a good call because I also kind of like my jaw was able to like stop like being hurt for a little bit longer. So I'm like, oh, you know what? This is actually pretty good. This is pretty good. So you know what? I'm pretty good to be doing this. So hold on, let me do something here. I gotta do a few things before we start. Um, I gotta put a link here because this is actually kind of a sponsored stream. I mean, it is a sponsored stream, but so I gotta put up a thing here saying that pin a message here. There you go. Gotta put put something right there saying that we're sponsored and you can buy these today. There's gonna be a full review of these on my podcast on Sunday afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. Let me start getting up a few things here really quick. I'm not really gonna be taking out much right now. Just things just to set up everything. But hopefully everybody's doing well this evening. Like I said, I had to take a couple extra hours just to get ready because because I was having a bad night's sleep. But hey, I'm right here, so it's all good. It's all good right here. So why don't we get started? All right. So we are beginning our stream today with a model pitch. We're gonna start with this guy today. We're gonna start with Miro. Yeah, they call this guy like two different things in this. Yeah, because like watch, he's Scorpio Milo right here, and then like right here he's Scorpio Miro, and I think too like on the website and everything they call him Scorpio Miro as well. I'm like, okay, cool. And I always made the assumption that he was named Milo, but you know, it's like the same thing I always figured with like with Kamu's name with Kamu, where it's like people call him Kamu, but it's like for the longest time I thought it was Camus. But it's like, oh well, maybe I had it wrong all this time. You know, maybe I'm the idiot here. So get to open this bad boy up and see what we got. Yeah, Scorpio Milo right here, even on this right here. Like, what's going on? Like did they tell him like, oh, by the way, you can't use this name anymore and stuff like that. Also, it's interesting. It's like, for example, let me see if I still have the. Do I still have it right here? Instruction booklet for this guy. Yeah, because watch, for Violia, they kept they kept the Chinese logo right here, and then for like Milo and for Mu, they actually made like a whole new brand new English logo for it. So it's like it's kind of weird, like you know a lot of these things. It feels like you know like they kind of like took a lot of these things like out like they were like I want to say they weren't prepared, but more like they like a lot of these. I think a lot of these figures were still kind of like they were still kind of figuring things out before they were being released here in the United before they were released in English. That's my assumption about what's going on. So yeah, let's open these bad boys up. Also, only turn on words on stream in case like I go quiet. You guys want to like interact, say something while I'm doing this. So you guys are more than welcome to. Hey, cool recommendations for spine model kit builders. Um, like what do you want specifically? Like you want to know like like cutting tools and whatnot, or like what exactly are you do you, are you do you have like a question on? Because I got some recommendations for a few things. Because I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, it's like if you can find something, you can find whatever you find. Right now, if you're like aspiring and you just want to like just get into it instead of like being professional, like you're better off like buying whatever you can find at like Michaels. Because that is actually gonna be your best bet when it comes to like anything. Like it comes to like your like tools and stuff like that. Because um, I mean, because like it's one of those things where it's like I always say this to people when it comes to like model kit building and stuff like that. When it comes to that kind of stuff, you know, it's gonna be a commitment. You're gonna be committing a lot, and it's like if you're not gonna if you're just like one of those things, if you're one of those people that's like unsure about how things are gonna work out. I have exactolites and healing cupboard. Okay, cool. So like, you want something like nippers and stuff like that. I brought these. I always have like a pair of. I always have two pairs of these. The one that kind of has like I brought these kind of like whatever. These were kind of like whatever ones. And these are more specialized ones that they use for cutting like this is they use for cutting a this is what they use for cutting what's it called? This is what they use for cutting like jewelry. And I also use these as well, but this is a little bit more of an advanced thing. These are like these are mirror these are mirror files, and I don't recommend buying mirror files, especially if this is your first time. I don't recommend that at all because it's a matter of like convenience, and for me the convenience of doing it with these is actually a lot more convenient for me. But your convenience is also gonna vary as well. So if you're wondering like, oh, what's the best things you can buy, so yeah, and it's like, I brought this cutting board. Like, you say you already got a cutting board, but if you're like wondering if you want to get another cutting board, this cutting board right here I bought at the Dollar Tree for like a couple bucks. Yeah, snips might be pretty good. Let me show you the ones I got here really quick. Well, I set up because there there's some really good ones. The red ones I got are really good. But I would suggest you also buying like another pair, just like another pair as well. Orders. Let's go to when did I buy these? 2023. Yeah, no, yeah, around this time. Yeah, here it goes. Those are the ones those are these red ones right here that you're seeing right here. Like I said, like you like what I suggest you doing is like you take like a pair of these like whatever ones. Yeah, they do, but it's like I said, what I do is very different. Whereas it's like when I do cutting, I what I usually do is like I do two kinds of cuts in that, and you'll see what I do here. So let's start off with what's telling me to do here. It's telling me A13, so it's this one here. So, mm, so you see, I'm cutting things off like right here from the runner, and then what I'll do is I'll cut it off like right here from the like right here, but leave a little bit of flashing right there. And what I do is I usually take so and these cut pretty good, but what I do is I usually take these sanding things, these mirror sanding files, and just slowly go through. Like you go like I skipped one because that's a very coarse grit. So it's gonna damage it. So instead we're skipping to the next one over to, which is gonna be two, which is a fine, a fine, a fine, a fine, a, 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 a fine grit. Fine, fine, grit. Which is a fine, a fine, a fine, grit. Which is 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 a fine, a fine, and you just sand it down. Just sand it down little by little like this. And if the pieces fall off like that, that's fine. Just keep in mind, just keep everything as clean as possible. You don't exactly have to do this, but this is a good way to keep your if you're concerned about how your lines are gonna look and stuff like that when they're cut and stuff like that. If you're concerned about how they're gonna look at the end of this, this is a good way. This is a good way to doing this sanding way. The way I believe this way of sanding is actually very good as it keeps a kind of it keeps a lot of flashing down. So. Like I said, those in particular I link. Those are the ones I use myself. But but like if you can find some good ones at your local hobby store, like like Michaels or like Hobby City or something like that. Those are I think those will go a long way. I think the like and there's no real like and if you just do it and the thing is when it comes to these type of things, it's like it's always like I always say if you want to get the more expensive stuff, um you're more than welcome to get a lot of this more expensive stuff. But I suggest you getting started off with like some of like the more mid range stuff first before you decide to invest in a higher quality stuff. Because like I could easily say like, oh, buy the God Hands and you'd be perfectly fine. No, I understand too. It's like it's a commitment to buying the God Hands. So it's like I understand. It's like not everybody has that's not an option for everybody. But I will say that's like if you I will say if you do decide to like take that next step, God Hands would be a good option. Even though for me, I tend to be very much be in the camp of like whatever I can find on a cheap works a lot better for me. Because like I'm always I'm saying what I'm saying it's like when it comes to like kind of things like sometimes I'm always afraid it's like I'll like I'll drop out of like this hobby like I always do. Just, yeah, exactly. It's like it's a yeah, like you said, like it's like it's depending on how much money you want to put in. Also, what you feel more comfortable with as well. Like I said, like if you decide to like, go the path of what I'm doing exactly like if you want to like buy if you want to get like if you want to get like glass files, hey, go for it. Maybe it might work out for you, but different things work out for different people as well. Like I know for a fact that some people really like the sponge the sponge the sponge files because they're easily collapsible and like you can do different stuff with it. But for me, I feel a little bit more comfortable using these, especially after like these last couple of builds I've been doing. Having these types of having these files has been pretty good. So, but again, that's just me. Your mileage may vary and depends on how you what you feel comfortable with at the end of the day. Like I said, there's a lot there's like a lot of quote there's like model kit stuff. It's like it's easily accessible. You're not gonna be completely like lost if you decide to like get the cheaper stuff. Like I said, most of the stuff you're seeing right here is just like stuff that you get at the store. It's something that if you want to invest in like God hands and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to, but you don't really have to. Well, let's see. Eventually, just the last one, like the last thing. Um, that and also too, they're a little bit more precise when it comes to like cuts and stuff like that. Like when it comes to like filing and stuff like that, it's like you're not going up and down grits, and you're not going up and down grits very often when you do it when you use these. It's pretty much like bog standard. Like okay, I'm going to I'm just going to like coarse to fine to very fine. And like right now, it's because like these cuts are kind of precise. We skip the middleman and just go right to like we go right to like the very like we go to like the super fine like buffering, and just so we can send out the whatever is left of the flashing of the from the runner. I do have regular like files as well. But like another thing I don't like about those regular files is like they hurt my hands a lot. Like I'm getting old. I'll admit I'm old. I'm an old crusty bastard. And like and using like regular files, like it just hurts my hand a lot to use them. So having these class files has been a huge advantage. To like it cuts down a lot of the sanding, and also cuts down on like me the kind of things that like it cuts down a lot from of me like using it. It cuts down a lot of sanding as well. And having something that like a stick like this actually is a huge advantage as well. However, like I said, there are people that don't like the glass files, and you know what? I respect that. I know I was having this exact discussion with another streamer slash model kit builder. Their name is Dokudel, and Dokudel was talking about like they enjoy using they usually like using sponge files more than say the glass files. Meanwhile, I'm the guy who's like, I like more the glass files a lot more. So it really is up to you, really. And like I said, there you can use the regular ones as well. You can just use some regular ones as long as you know the grits and stuff like that. Know how like how it's gonna affect the plastic. Then then be my guest and get like whatever ones you can find like at like Harbor Freight or like Wal or like Home Depot or like at Lowe's and stuff like that. You can get some of those, and you can get some of those pretty easily. Like I said, it's convenient. It's for convenience, but also like I said, so it's convenient and more efficient. But also, it's also depending on your preference. Like this is my preference. Like this is what I like to roll with. So for me, it's like this is that for me. This is what I like. I feel a lot more comfortable using these. So yeah. And like I said, and that's another thing. And this is another reason why I say like your like this is why I also say like when it comes to like doing model kits and stuff like that, experimentation is the key. Experimenting with like different things is a must. That way, you can find what makes you feel a little bit more comfortable when you're building and when you're building and finding out like what makes you feel a little bit more comfortable as you're doing the builds and stuff like that. Because I do feel like when it comes to like building stuff and stuff like that, when it comes to like building, especially model kits, it really depends on the end. It really depends on how the user feels. And if you feel more comfortable like using certain things or certain items, go for it. Absolutely go for it. I'm not gonna shit on your Cheerios and say you have to use this. Last market was a Ralph brand garden house, a lot of paper and glue, not really any plastic. All right. So just for comparison, let me show you. Let me show you something I worked on like not too long ago here. Um, this is the last model kit I worked on before working on these kits for Blokees. I worked on the Caliborn Gundam from Gundam Witch from Mercury, and like I said, I use a lot of those techniques I've been honing in, like using these glass files and like making more like deliberate like smaller cuts, and you know this is and I think I think these kits I think these kits look fantastic as a finished product, especially it looks very clean as well. These look extremely clean. Just I really like how clean this small kit looks because there's like hardly no flashing. There's hardly no like there's not like leftover sprues or anything like that. I am genuinely shocked at how good this is, especially since like this is an all like this is how it's colored. It is all white on the show. So it's like you know for something that's all white like this, you know it's easy. You can easily see a lot of the mistakes that you can easily do with like when it comes to like a model kit like this. When it comes to like you know like cutting and stuff like that, and you don't see that at all. You don't see that at all. So it's like it's all fair. It's very clean all over. So the cuts are clean, and like I said, just it's I really like how this came out here. So it's very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll post more pictures on my Discord. And also, so I know I posted some pictures on Pixelmate's Discord as well, but I'll post more because like this, I did a lot more work with it since I last posted. Because like another thing I was doing as well when it came to like is like if I don't know if you know I don't know if this comes out well on camera or not, but there's a lot of panel lining I did. You can see like right here like the black lines coming like the. Let me see if I can adjust the camera here so you guys can see it. I don't know if you can tell from like the from this from the how like the brightness is because it's all white that there's a lot of these lines that are kind of like filled in. I'm kind of happy how it all turned out, especially since like you know it's easy very easily. Oh boy, but I'm also on mobile. Okay, yeah. I think this thing does have a good focus, unfortunately. And like I said, it doesn't help that this is all white as well. So it's like the whiteness, the brightness is kind of dulls out a lot of the color, unfortunately. So like I said, I'll post pictures later of this, like without with like better with like on a better on like you know on a better camera. So yeah, so it'll make it better. So it'll make a lot more sense once I post it on the once I post it with a different camera. There you go. Now you can see a lot better here. See like the lines right here. really good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do. My goal is to, like, when I do these model kits, I want to kind of like give these model kits kind of like their kind of like their love and like that they deserve. Because I do feel like a lot of times with a lot of these model kits, especially when it comes to like stuff from like franchises that I like Saint Seiya, I do feel like they do deserve a little bit more. Like they do deserve like all the like this kind of like this treatment of like of them doing of me putting in all this effort to make sure. Right? See, like, okay, I'll see you later. Let's continue. We're just wasting time. B1A and B17.
So you can't take so.
Hey, Neo, how you doing? Let me find B3. How are you doing? It's been a while since I seen you around here, Neo. Hopefully you're doing well. It's blurry. Your rendering resolution is too. What the hell, really? Hold on, let me do something here really quick.